Hello, and welcome to Intellectual Mind Candy. I'm Joe Viandades. I've spent a lifetime studying and experiencing the paranormal. I've studied hermetics and alchemy. I've delved into ideas like past lives and reincarnation, astral projection, and remote viewing. I've kept a lot of my experiences and observations private, sharing them with only a handful of people, always challenging myself as to whether or not these experiences were real or were they a manifestation of my imagination. That question was answered for me on February 13th, 2021, when I died from sudden cardiac arrest. Miraculously, everyone who needed to be there was, and they spent almost an hour bringing me back to life before transporting me to the hospital, where I was put in a hypothermic coma and observed by doctors who were unsure if my brain would ever turn back on or if I'd ever wake up. 3 days later, I regained consciousness and awoke with a different perspective. Now, I have a desire to re-explore these many ideas I've kept hidden and share them with whoever will listen. Intellectual Mind Candy began as a one-man show where I talked about my past, my death, and my resurrection, and has now become this podcast where I'll present my own investigations as well as have discussions with others who've experienced like things. During my death, I observed that life was akin to a very lucid dream state, every bit as real as the reality we exist in, and from that state, I could interact with this reality. Was my moments of independent consciousness, free of my physical body, unique to me, or is this a state that others exist in as well? Can I reach out and communicate with them? What follows is a session where I tested and recorded this theory. It's important that you see this session in its entirety and as it unfolded, how it started very quiet and then built in intensity, and only then contemplate on the whole of what you've seen. The following is one continuous unedited shot.
Try to maneuver myself. The computer is off, so I'm not getting any sort of EMF readings from that. So what this is, it's a dead bell, and it's a sensitive EMF detector that someone that we can't quite see in this reality can actually manipulate. Now what this is an idea I came up with, an alphabet board, to where if that person's able to see the characters, the letters, and the numbers, I can go across. When I get to the column that they want, they ring the bell. Then I go down, and then they ring the bell again for whatever letter or number that's there, or character. I found in the experimenting with this that I need to make sure that what I'm thinking and what I'm saying is in unison. So I'm keeping my mind in a very controlled state to make sure I'm not thinking about what I'm about to say before I say it. In some of my experiments, I found that if I was thinking about the exclamation point and that's what they wanted, I might still be on the question mark and then thinking, oh, I'm going to say exclamation point next, and then it's going to ring. When I was experimenting and I was trying to bring my mind in closer, I was finding that it was getting more in line. In part with this, it's going to be a fairly short session because I can only handle about 5 or 10 minutes of this. So let's see if we get anything. So today is going to be session 1. Since I'm documenting it, 6/12/2025, we're at about 10 a.m. Okay, now the bell is a variable. If you turn it on, it'll pick up ambient EMF energy. So you want to try to turn it back. So what we're going to do is I'm going to turn it back a quarter of a way. Now the idea is that once I have someone who's sitting down with me, you'll hear a ding. Now one of the other things that I set up is also something called Ghost Tube, which I'm still not entirely sure I'm on board with, but I have found it to be interesting. And it's a female voice that you'll hear in the background when it's done. Now, if anyone happens to be here, it said indeed. So if anyone happens to be here, as soon as you sit down, just tap the bell one time and let me know you're there. Once you tap the bell, then I'm going to ask again. Please do that again. And then
Listen to me.
I'm going to try, but you got to help me. So we're going to communicate through using the alphabet board and the bell. So if you can sit down next to the bell and ring it, then I'll know that we're able to kind of talk with one another. Okay? Okay. Ready when you are, Gridley. Let's increase the sensitivity of this just a hair. Are you just camera shy? Is that what it is? You were chatty the other day. I'm sure y'all are still around. So, made a nice spot for you. You just sit down there. Do the ding ding, please.
Nurse. I'm stuck.
How are you stuck? Yeah, sit down. You go ahead and just tap the top of the bell. And I'll hear it ring. And then I'll know that you're sitting here. And we'll be able to continue. My name's Jovian. What's yours? Were we talking the other day? Or was that someone else? Let's try a little more. I'm going to increase this all the way first. What's it? Yeah. So what I need to do is I need to take this off just a little bit off ambient. Okay. It's too much. Let's try that. I've heard that sometimes one of the prevailing theories. Is that you? If that's you, tap the bell again, please. I have heard the prevailing theory is batteries. Sometimes you can draw power from that. Do not draw anything from the battery in my chest, please. Okay, so if that is you, please ring the bell again so I'll know.
We commanded.
Okay. Did we speak the other day? Or are we just meeting for the first time? Okay. Are you able to see the letters, numbers, and characters on this board I'm holding up? One tap would be yes. Silence I'll take as a no. But right now, I'm still not convinced. Okay. Let's try something a little different for the beginning. So what we need to do is understand that this isn't just ambient. What's happening is...
Not likely.
Yeah. Yes. Do that a little bit faster, though. Do ding ding. Please. One more time. Just ding ding.
Sometimes.
Now again, a theory is that you can draw excess power from the batteries that I left sitting on that chair. And if that's what you need, go ahead and do that with the batteries on the chair. Okay. So, if you can, as close as it can to mine.
He hides.
Ding ding. Hit the bell 2 times if you could. As fast as you can. Now what may also help you is that if you concentrate and focus on it, focus on your hand, when you go down, you may be able to make it go off that way. We'll take that as a start. Sometimes as we work on these things, we can get better with it. So, what I'm going to do is, are you able to see the board that I'm holding up?
Don't
Thank you.
leave me.
I'm going to be here, but if we do move, which we might be, you're more than welcome to come with us. You know, we're not moving very far, and what you can do is you can actually focus on an object, say the clock that I have over there. If you focus on that clock and become part of it, if you would, when we move the clock, you'll move with us. Okay, so let's try the board. And what I'm going to do is I'm going to go across the top row, one at a time. When I get to the character or the row that your character is in, you're going to ding the bell once. Then what I'm going to do is I'm going to repeat the top one and go down the column until I get to what you want. And when I get there, ding it again. There you go. And if you can do it like that, that would be even better. Okay, so are you ready to start? I'll take your silence as a yes. There you go. Try to focus on the words that I'm saying, not what's in my head. I'm trying to bring those into alignment so you're not hearing like echo, if you would. Bear with me because I'm learning as much as you're learning, okay?
Sleep.
It's easiest to communicate with me when I'm sleeping. Yes, that is true. So, let us begin. Question mark. Okay. Question mark. A. E. I. Okay. I. Next letter. Question mark. Exclamation point. Period. Space bar. Apostrophe. Hyphen. Question mark. Okay. Question mark. A. Okay, that's where I was going to go. Okay, so I, A. Next letter. Question mark. Exclamation point. Period. Period. C, G. Okay. G. Question mark. Next letter. Question mark. Exclamation point.
Behind you.
I ain't looking behind me. We know how that game runs. Okay. So. Clearing my mind here for a moment. Okay. Next letter. Next letter. Yes. Question mark. Exclamation point. Period. Okay. Period. C. Next letter. Question mark. Exclamation point. Exclamation point. B as in boy. F. F. Next letter. Question mark. Exclamation point. Period. Space bar. Apostrophe. Apostrophe. 1. 3. 3.
I'm not sure.
That's okay. We worked through it. We're all just going to be documenting this. And we're going to see if we can get better with it. Okay, so let's try something different. Let's start off with your name. We're going to do it this way. Use the board. And so what I'm going to look to do is spell out your name for me. Excellent. So let's begin. Question mark. Okay. Question mark. A. Okay, A. Next letter. Question mark. Exclamation point. Okay, exclamation point. B as in boy. Okay. A, B. Next letter. Question mark. Exclamation point. Period. Space bar. Apostrophe. Hyphen. Let's begin again. I'll go a little slower. Question mark. Exclamation point. Period. Space bar. Apostrophe. Hyphen. Let me try this. Is your name Abby? Okay, thank you. So we're going to put you down as Abby. Nice to meet you, Abby. My name is Jovian. Now, when we were experimenting the other day, that was you. Okay, and I was calling you BB. So again, nice to meet you. I was thinking it, I'm going to say it again, just so you can react to it. Are you the one that was speaking to me in a little bit of Spanish? Okay, thank you. The other day when we experimented, one of the responses back was C exclamation point, and I went, C? And she rang the bell. And then I was just like, you speak Spanish.
Why are you here?
Well, I live here now. And one of the things that, well, a few years ago, I died and I was brought back to life. While I was dead, I was where you are now. And since then, I really feel like, I believe, that we can speak with one another across this divide. And there's nothing scary about it, or, you know, you're living and I'm living. We're simply in two different realities. So, what my goal is here is to learn how to be able to effectively communicate. And right now, we start off with this concept. And in time, I can modify this. So, something I was trying to do the other day was I'd like to understand, what is the year for you?
Go slowly.
Okay, and I will. So, what is the year for you? And let's do it as a 4-number answer. Okay? So, let's begin. Question. Okay. Question mark. A. E. I. O. O. Next letter. Question mark. Okay. Question mark. We're going to write that down as a question mark. And part of this is going to be a learning experience with us. Because again, I know that if I'm thinking it in my mind, yes, and then I try to speak it, it'll come off as an echo to you. And so what I'm trying really hard to do is to learn how to bring
Hang.
these things together. Hanged. Ooh. We don't need to talk about that if you don't want to. Do you want to talk about that? Okay. Well. Yes, I'm going to say why. So let's begin. Okay. Question mark. Okay. Question mark. A. E. I. O.
Haunted.
We're doing an O again. Next character. Question mark. Exclamation point. Period. Period. C. G. K. Q. W. 7. Okay. 7. Next character. Okay, question mark. Are you asking me if it's 2007? Are you asking me if it's 1907? Are you asking me if it's 1807?
I remember.
Thank you. What was in my mind when it rang was, is it the 7th? And that seems to be the reaction. So now let's go from, it is the 7th of something.
I don't understand.
Do you not understand what's happening? Okay. So, with this, I'm going to explain it to you. And I'm sure it's going to sound crazy, but we are both alive, but we're in two different realities. In the reality that
No
I'm
way.
in, oh yeah, really. We're both as much alive. In my reality, I can touch the table, I can touch these things and feel it. in your reality, you can touch things and you can feel it. Yes.
When did it happen?
I don't know. So what I can do is we can try to understand what is the time for you. So like, what year is it? What month is it? What day is it? And from that, we might be able to go back and figure out, okay, how did it happen? But be aware that you are just as alive as I am. You're just existing in a different reality. And for whatever reason, we're able to have this conversation. It's as crazy as me dying and coming back from and resurrecting from the dead. So it is an interesting universe in which we live. So I have seventh, and I'm going to take this right now as being that that's a day. So let's try. Okay, let's try for a month.
We're here.
Okay, cool. And I'm here. How many are you there? How many are with you right now? 1, 2. 2 of you? Okay. Let's try for the 2 number month. And this is what it is for you. So let's start again. Question mark, exclamation point, period, space bar, apostrophe, hyphen. Okay. Hyphen 2 4 N T Z 0. No. 0. I'll take it as 0. Second character. Question mark. Exclamation point. Period. Space bar. Apostrophe. Okay.
Later this evening.
I'm sorry, that struck my attention, so let's do it again. Apostrophe. 1, 3. M is in M. Well, let's write it down and let's proceed. Next character. Question mark. Exclamation point. Okay. Exclamation point.
Closer.
B is in boy. Okay. Question mark. Question. Is this still confusing for you? Would it help for me to go slower? Would it help for me to focus my thoughts more between my thoughts and my speaking? Okay. And again, I apologize for that. I'm learning this as much as we're learning about each other. And this is also why I can only do it for so long at a time, because it does wear you out. But, Abby.
Help.
Well, I will help you, but we're going to need to learn how to be able to speak, so then I can figure out how to help you. Okay? We're going to be gone for the night and the day, but we'll be back tomorrow. And then on Saturday, we'll be able to speak again. So 2 days from now. And I was going to ask, do you perceive the passage of time in our days? Or do you find that you sometimes, and what I'm going to ask, I'm thinking ahead of myself, is that you're dreaming and you're in one spot and then you're in another spot and then you're back in another spot again. Okay. So this being the
I
case,
can't get through.
it'll take a little bit of time. Again, when I'm sleeping, that's when you can actually speak to me easier in my dreams. That's right. Because then we're existing in the same space. So, we have the 7th as the day, yes. In order to understand and trace this back a little bit more, I'm going to need to understand what year it is for you and maybe even what month. Now, we are in Oxnard, California. So, do you remember being in Oxnard? Do you remember being in California? I'm thinking of where in the world do you remember being? Yeah, but now we have to try to figure that out.
Give it to me.
Okay, we're going to use the board again. Let's start off with, where are you now? Okay? Question mark. Exclamation point. Period. Space bar. Apostrophe. Hyphen. Going to begin again. Question mark. Exclamation point. Period. Space bar. Apostrophe. Apostrophe. 1, 3, M, S, Y, 9. Okay, thank you. 9. September? Okay, September 7th. Okay. September 7th. So now we're going to go for year. We can go for 2-digit years. Why not? We're going to go for if you want. I'm going to figure it out quick if we're going for 4 or 2. We can go for 2 if that's going to be easier for you, okay? Okay. So, let's begin. 2-digit year. Question mark. Exclamation point. Period. So period. C. C. Doesn't make any sense. Would you like me to try that again? Okay. Next letter. Next character. Question mark. Exclamation point. Exclamation point. B as in boy. F. J. J. Okay. CJ. CJ? Is that the answer? Is that a name? Okay, CJ. Next character. Okay. Question mark. Question mark. A. E. I. Okay, next character. Question mark. Exclamation point. Period. Spacebar. Spacebar. D. Okay. ID. Next character. Question mark. Question mark.
Teresa.
Teresa. We're just going to write that down in here. Okay, let's begin again with current character. Question mark. Exclamation point. I thought period before it came out of my mouth, so I'm going to say period. Or, do you want me to go down? Exclamation point. Okay. Period. C. G. K. Q. W. 7. I'm sorry. So we got C, J, I, D. Next character. Question mark. Exclamation point. Period. Okay, period. C. G. K. K. I don't know. Okay. I don't know. Okay. Let me just write this down. I'm thinking in my mind, you don't know what year it is. Is that correct? Or you don't know what year it is for you? Okay, silence. So we have Abby and we have September 7th. Yeah. I'm going to need to end soon, so let's go back here. You seem to be pretty good at focusing in this other device I'm using. So I'm going to need to end this session today. Okay. And this will give, I like the way that we're progressing.
Satanic.
No, it really isn't. It's different, but again, think of when Alexander Graham Bell invented the telephone. How magical that must have seemed, that a person's voice could travel incredible distances and be heard again somewhere else. Is this really all that different? A little bit. But life is an amazing thing, isn't it? So, are you alone there, or are you alone there? You never find other people that you're able to talk with?
Seance.
Okay. Ah, interesting. Word was seance. Were you at the Majestic Theater? Okay. So it wasn't from there. What I was just thinking was, did someone have a seance that brought her through? When they brought you through, were you stuck here then? Interesting. Are you trying to get back to where you were?
Go slowly.
Ah, okay. Before the seance, were you somewhere else? It's confusing for me. Yeah. I'm just looking at your name, Abby. Now, I am glad that we were able to communicate again and talk again. And we're going to continue doing this. I do find it interesting that sometimes some of these things will come across and we'll be able to get that. And I think, I'm sorry. Is that what you're feeling right now? Or is this whole thing that we're doing pretty sick? You hit the button. I can agree with that. Were you at St. John's Hospital? Okay. St. John's Hospital is about two or three blocks from here. That's where I was after I had my cardiac arrest. They took me to there. Mm-hmm. Did you see me there? Or were you aware that I was there? Okay. So, you were in the hospital, and then you woke up, and you were feeling better. Would that be true? Okay. But no one was able to talk with you. Okay. And that happens sometimes.
Pagan.
Huh. Nope, ain't that either. Sorry to say. As some friends know, I always say I ain't a particularly religious person, but God doesn't seem to care about that. So, no. It's very scary where you are right now because you don't really know what's happening and you don't understand. And sometimes you find a person like me who can hear you. And in this particular case, I'm actually trying to have a full-on conversation with you. Yeah. And I'm hoping that this makes you happy, that I can speak with you, or that I can try to have this conversation with you. But let's go back to the hospital for a minute. Okay. You woke up, you were feeling better, and then you started to go through the halls, and no one could see you. But so at some point, you left the hospital and walked over to here. Okay. Have you walked through other houses here? Or were you drawn to here? Okay. And that's another thing that we said sometimes a person like me, it can look like a beacon or a light. Mm-hmm. And what it is that light that you're drawn to, but it winds up being, because essentially I am where you are, but I'm living in both places. And so this allows us to be able to really have this meeting of ours.
Another room.
Yeah. So you are welcome to stay here. You're welcome to be with us. You know, again, you'll sometimes hear me talking in my mind, and sometimes I'll be able to combine the two of them together. And what we can try to do is, I'll try to help you, yes.
Ceremony.
Ceremony. What I'm going to do first, though, is I'm going to go back. I'm going to look for your name. I'm going to look on September 7th. And let's see what we can find here. And we will talk again, probably about 2 days. So, 2 full days. And when we speak again, I'll look forward to our conversation. So, we will talk again. So, we'll talk later, Abby, okay? It was nice to meet you. Look forward to talking to you again. Any last thoughts? Come through here. Okay. So, we'll talk to you again soon.
It's not easy.
No, it isn't, but I figure that over time, both of us will wind up getting better at using this method. And then, I said, I'll be able to help you. There are others here that come through. So, if y'all can talk, that'd be fantastic. Pretty much everybody here is friendly. So, don't be afraid. And they're also from all different times. So, again, we'll talk again very soon. So, bye for now, Abby.
Sessions like the preceding are a learning curve. For me, this is nothing mystical. I'm reaching out to speak with a person and translate that conversation into a form that you, the viewer, can witness. These sessions are to bridge the gap between the unspoken thoughts that I'm sharing with these people and align them with the spoken word and physical action that you witnessed, with the intention that over time, we'll learn how to communicate more easily with this method. I found this experiment interesting. I hope you did as well. Many years ago, I met an artist named Sandra Dolan. She did aura paintings and made this drawing of me. For years, I just kept this rolled up and to the side. I'd spent many years of my life to that point, studying the paranormal as a solid, keeping many of my discoveries and experiences to myself. Not long after Sandra made this drawing for me, I stopped those studies. I'd reached a point where I didn't know how to proceed. I had no mentor, no guide, no direction to go any further beyond what I had learned. Solitaries are not inclined to seek out teachers, and life experience teaches us not to trust anyone who might turn to us and proclaim themselves to be masters, or the light in the way. On a side note, if anyone ever presents themselves to you like this, run away. Even though I stopped my studies, I would continue to explore the world of my lucid dreams, projecting myself further out and farther back into what I perceived as my own imagination. I had increasingly interesting encounters and experiences right up until my death in 2021. During the time that I was dead, I looked back on my life and all the things that I had learned, all the lives that I remembered, and then cursed the futility of having spent a lifetime learning these things. and knowing that all this knowledge and experience would be cast back into the sea of forgetting as I cycled through life again. I became infuriated at the thought of having to be reborn, to be driven to relearn all these things again, to only find the future self at the exact same moment, then to cycle again without having the opportunity to fully explore where this heightened state of consciousness could lead to. And here I am. I embraced death. I accepted it. I faced it without any fear, and then I came back. I see my life now as having the chance to be able to explore the other state of existence, the afterlife, this other state of consciousness, while still being in possession of the continuity of consciousness our lives provide. This now gives me the chance to fulfill a thing I was once told I would do, and that's to demystify mysticism. For the whole history of our species, we've encountered many things that we've never understood. Some of these things we've learned how to quantify, and they've become our many schools of science. Yet others, reincarnation, past lives, astral projection, remote viewing, life after death, other worlds, other civilizations beyond the earth, the very nature of consciousness itself, these things remain elusive mysteries. We mystify them, deify them, fear them. Some outrightly proclaim that they can't exist and say they never could be. Well, perhaps it's time that instead of just denying the existence of these things, that we accept that they are, in fact, real. And now we learn how to demystify and fully understand them. I invite you to join me on this journey, and let's see where it takes us. Until next time.